Hi there, it's Mike Clark here, back with sales tip number 5 of top salespeople. The tip that we're discussing today is about how people make buying decisions. Because the thing that sets apart great salespeople from ordinary salespeople is this, is that great salespeople serve other people first. And to be of service to other people, they really look to understand how they make buying decisions. Because once you understand how someone makes a buying decision, you can then lead them through a process naturally. And the thing is this, it's very interesting because when I learnt this concept literally took my results to another level. Previously I was all over the sales process. I'd be jumping from, now that I'm aware of it, I was jumping from like stage 1 to stage 5, stage 2 to stage 4. And without realizing, I met a lot of resistance in sales. And the moment I identified that there was actually a sequential order that we all go through in order to make a decision, the moment I understood that, it became self-evident in terms of why I was actually losing sales. So, the question is then, what are the 6 steps that we all go through? Okay, so step number 1 is this. I'll use the example of a car. Okay, let's say you've purchased a car. The moment you buy a car, you're actually quite relaxed that you've made the decision. You feel relaxed and comfortable and most likely confident with the decision you've made. You're satisfied and you're quite relaxed with the decision-making process you've gone through. And then what happens is that something will happen. Typically something irritates you, something goes wrong. It might be that there was heating in the car that stuffed up, or there was the windscreen wipers didn't work properly, the seats became uncomfortable, something triggered something inside of you which irritated you. And that's when you go from step 1, which is around relaxed, to step 2, to the irritation stage. And you become irritated around 1 or 2 or a number of things about the purchase you've made. So in that example, it might be that you really get frustrated with the fact that the windscreen wipers don't work properly, or you get frustrated that when it's a cold night and the windows fog up and it doesn't clear the fog quickly enough. Whatever the case is, something happens, you become irritated. Before you decide to make a decision to change something of a greater value, there's usually a number of things that have to irritate you. Where if it's a lower value, if it's something like £10 for example, let's say a pen or whatever you can think of that's less than £10, as soon as it irritates you, you might just chuck it out, one thing. But if you bought a house, for example, because the door's creaky, you're not going to just replace your house straight away, are you? So the larger the size of the purchase, typically the greater number of irritations you need before you actually take action to solve it. Okay, so once you become irritated about something, essentially what you'll be doing, the next 2 steps occur somewhat subconsciously, okay? Because essentially what you'll be doing, as soon as you get an irritation around something, you then start looking for a solution to it. And the 3rd step is actually problem solving. You actually start looking for ways to solve the problem that you have. And then what you will do is, from moving from the problem solving phase, you'll subconsciously often go to the next stage, the 4th stage, which is the pros and cons. You're weighing up basically the pros and cons of a potential solution. And then essentially what happens is that you will quickly, there's usually something that happens which causes you to quickly make a decision. It might be that you're late for an appointment one day, the air conditioning isn't working properly, and so you turn up to an important meeting and you're sweaty, you stink, you smell, you're hot, you're flustered, and you lose a big deal as a result of the air conditioning not working in your car. And straight away you walk out of that appointment frustrated, infuriated, but you go, boom, that's it, I'm making the decision, I'm out of here, I'm getting that car. But by that time, typically what's happened, because you've been subconsciously weighing up the problem solutions as well as the pros and cons, you'll quickly move to a decision where you're locking in a potential answer. And essentially with the locked in stage, which is the 5th stage, is that you decide to take action, you lock in a decision, and then you basically take the action to purchase. The moment you actually make that decision to purchase, what happens is you move into the 6th stage, which is evaluation. Okay, you evaluate basically the things that you liked about the purchase and the things you didn't like about the purchase. So these are the 6 steps that we all go through, and I wish I had more time to go into even greater depth, but I really hope this has given you a good understanding that it's so important to sales success and to your success to understand these 6 steps, because the biggest mistake a lot of people make is they go from step 1 to step 4. And so just to recap, we'll quickly walk through the 6 steps again. And by the way, the 6 steps, which is relaxed, irritated, problem solving, pros and cons, locked in and evaluate, they actually stand for the 6 letters of Ripple. And we go into a lot more detail the why that is the case, but essentially it's as I said at the beginning, it's really about serving the client first. So before you create the effect, you have to understand what creates the ripple. So thank you for listening in. I really hope that you get some great value from this, but more importantly, I really hope that you go out there, you analyze your calls and become much more conscious of where your clients are in the decision-making cycle, so you can serve them, and by serving them, you'll increase your results. Till next time, if you want to connect to us on any of our social media sites, feel free to do so. And here's to creating ripple effect sales in your business. Take care.